Now, it may seem counterintuitive, but there are a number of reasons why untrained people have an advantage in a street fight. So keep watching. The first reason is unpredictability. That untrained guy is going to rely on instinct and unconventional tactics to catch their opponent off guard. This is the guy that spits in your face and then punches you. You don't get that in a gym. Now, some people might think of dirty tactics as fish hooking and eye gouging, but think of the guy that looks down and then suddenly throws a punch. Classic example is the, look mate, I don't want any trouble. They turn around and they come back, bang, and they throw a sucker punch from the side because you think they've walked off. These are all tactics that the untrained learn from experience. And this is why quite often they're more capable, because they don't follow the rules of movement that you're used to. So how do you defend yourself against someone who's unpredictable? Well, as always, you try to look for patterns of movement. Pattern recognition and behavior is important. If you can try to identify the way that they're moving, little twitch factors, for example, does he scratch his nose? Does he look away? Does he repeatedly adjust his clothes? Does he look like he's getting ready for action? All of these things are natural human behaviors that are obvious that someone's getting ready to throw a punch, pull a knife, getting ready to attack you. Not only should you try to defend yourselves from awkward positions, falling off balance, awkward angles, sitting in a chair, you should also train in worst case scenarios of surprise. I know that's obvious. The one thing that you may notice in an argument with a stranger is that there may be preparation for action. And these are the things that you should rely on to give you some predictability of this guy who's standing in front of you. The second reason, number 2, aggression and intensity. If you had 2 untrained people in a street fight, who would win? Well, the simple answer comes down to aggression and intensity. It's a guy that not only wants it the most, but goes after it. People say that you fight better in a rage. You fight better when you're angry. You could say this gives you an advantage in a street fight, but the problem with being unhinged is that you lack control. This guy is a rage fighter. His anger's driving him. That makes him not only unpredictable, but less fearful with no hesitation, because they don't understand the consequences of feeling pain or exerting pain. This is a guy that will snap and then punch you so hard that you hit your head on the concrete. You see, rage fighters don't care about the consequences of their action. They see red and they want to destroy. Those are the guys that when they hit you and you fall, they stamp on your head. You'll often see raw aggression and intense determination from untrained fighters. Now, I know most are going to say, but any fighter has that. Raw aggression is a different quality to focused aggression. It's a difference between what I say is hot and cold. Hot aggression is angry, where the person literally is in a rage. Cold aggression is just that. It's focused and it's intense, but it lacks that emotional component. What you are is highly aggressive with the intention to harm, but you have a cold mindset behind that. And that's very different to hot aggression. Now, the untrained in a street fight is more likely to exhibit hot aggression, and that's what makes them more dangerous. They may have that no holds barred mentality. It's almost caveman-like, but it can be overwhelming. To deal with this rage fighter, you have to match fire with fire. You essentially have to have the same level of intensity, but what you need to be able to do is have a cold sense of aggression. Once you've mastered cold aggression, the next thing is to learn how to switch it on and off. And this is key to your self-defense. You have to have the ability to be able to go bang, bang, like that, and switch into aggressive mode, and then likely switch it off. To achieve this, you have to incorporate it within your own training system, but you have to practice and train switching on aggression with a high level of intensity, but it's mental intensity and focus. The third reason, size and strength. Simple physicality can make a difference in the street. With someone that's untrained, their immediate advantage is to use their size and strength. This dude isn't picking a fight on anybody that he knows he can't beat up. Put simply, nobody picks a fight if they know they're going to lose. So if this guy's untrained, he has a reason to think that he can dominate you. And that's often because of his size and strength. This guy is going to pick on someone that's smaller than him. You see, trained fighters will fight anybody. So in that sense, the physical attributes that the person has will play a role in a street fight. I know suggesting size and strength gives someone an advantage, but it's the way that someone uses their size and strength. You see, an experienced fighter knows that they have to limit the amount of strength that they have. They have to control their gas tank, because if they burn their rocket fuel straight away, they're going to be vulnerable. untrained people don't have that level of experience and understanding. So when they use their strength, they use it to its maximum capacity with immediate effect. And that's very different to skilled fighters, who tend to be much more conservative in the way that they use their energy, because they know that the fight can go a lot longer, and they also understand the consequences of actually losing energy and being helpless as a result. In that sense, if you're facing someone that's untrained, if you can weather the storm, let them burn themselves out, then you'll be far more effective in your own self-defense in fighting back. This untrained guy is dangerous because he has access to his natural attributes without hesitation, without fear, and in an unpredictable fashion. So he may be stronger, more athletic than even a skilled fighter. And this gives him an advantage in a fight. Rely on a strategy in which you are depleting their energy while you're conserving your own energy. So that means your movements should be trying to tire them out. And that's how you deal with someone that's unhinged, untrained. But weathering the storm is always going to be the hard part. If you can get past the unpredictability, the tricks, the aggression, then their size and their level of physical intensity is far easier to cope with. So what's the takeaway? Don't avoid the new guys in the gym. These guys are the closest people that you're going to experience in the street. The problem with training with more experienced guys is that they have great technique, timing, and movement, and that often makes them predictable. They may have a high level of physical intensity and aggression, but the predictability still stands, and when you're experienced, you become accustomed to that. But it's the untrained guys that offer the most valuable, transferable skills to the street, because these guys are going to be so unpredictable, because these guys can't control their punch. They don't know if they're hitting hard. Worse yet, when they grapple, these are the guys that use all their strength and think that they're not. I'm not saying that skilled fighters don't have an advantage in a street fight. What I'm saying is unskilled fighters have a natural advantage, perhaps because they lack the expectations of their behavior. You see, skilled fighters have certain expectations on what they expect to happen when they throw a punch or a kick. But the untrained lack any expectations on their behavior. And because of that, they have a natural advantage. Their thought process is far quicker, their level of aggression can be more intense, but the most important thing to note is that they are very, very fluid in their actions. And that gives them a natural advantage. So when you're training for self-defense, try to train with the least experienced person in the gym, because they'll give you the most unpredictable experience that's like what you're going to experience in the street. Thanks for watching.